What up, world? Welcome to another episode of BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always, on all podcast platforms that were BrandonJaneauShow, social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Brandon Janeau, Facebook, The Brandon Janeau Show, and of course, TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I deeply, deeply appreciate it if you do. Yeah, really, where you go is the YouTube channel, man. Brandon Janeau Show YouTube channel. Um, go um, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show. Um, Comment, like the vids, like the shorts. It helps in algorithms. you know. So yeah. So go follow me on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show. Yeah. It's Monday, which means it is I Bleed Sports. Next week, well, because Monday Night Raw is going to be pretty much back on very early, so I can do this again next Monday. First week of NFL season will be officially next week. But this week, it is college football's turn. College football had week 0 last week, but this week is officially the first week of college football. So, of course, I'll be giving out my crazy six, my eyes on football for week 1 of college football, which would be my skeptical game of the week, my most interesting game of the week, my upset game of the week, and of course, the game of the week. And of course, preseason for the NFL has officially ended. There are cuts happening right now for teams. I talk about the final looks of the preseason, particularly for 4 quarterbacks: Cam, Jackson, Shador, and Tyler Shuck of the Saints. So I'll talk about that, and of course I will be giving my rankings coming into the 2025 season of put the NFL's top 10 defenses versus my top 10 defenses coming into the NFL season. Yeah, let's start off like this. Hold on. Start off like this. So there's a boxing match that is announced. And no, it's not the Bud Canelo match that will take place in a couple weeks in Vegas. There's another match that has officially been announced, and that is Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. This is announced. It's official. It's happening. Uh, I think they said it's going to be in, I think, December. And they said, if I read it right, like November, December. I can't remember what the date was. Um, but it's supposed to happen at the end of this year. Of course, I want to rough you, like I always say. I want to rough you that has been banging on the table. I don't give a shit about Jake Paul fights. I watch them, but I don't really give a shit about him until he actually fights an actual boxer in his prime. That's been an actual boxer for a very long time and consistently been a boxer. Well, he picked the best one he could find, and that is Tank Davis. Now, Jake Paul is technically what, a light heavyweight. I think that's what he's. That's technically what he's the weight class he's in. Yeah, I think he's a light heavyweight. Tank is a lightweight. Fucking lightweight, dude. A junior welterweight. Listen, man. Whoever took the first fight against Jake Paul, an actual real boxer against Jake Paul, was going to get clowned on, regardless of how it was, looked, sounded, whatever. The fact that it's Tank is not good for Tank. And I am a Tank fan, but I cannot sit here and lie and be like, this is a good thing for Tank. Bro, you had a match with Lamont Roche that was supposed to happen, this past weekend? I think the rematch was supposed to happen August 16th, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, your legal troubles happened, so they had to postpone that match, and they completely just ended the match. And now the first thing we hear from you about a boxing match is you're fighting fucking Jake Paul. It's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? this does not help Tank at all. The last time we saw you, there's a lot of people that can sit there and say that you should have lost that fight. It should have went 8-6. Um, yeah, 8-6, 8-4, of 7-5. I would say 7-5. 7-5. It shouldn't have been a draw. The fact that not only did you not choose to fight Lamont Roach again after the legal situations that you've been going through, you chose to fight Jake Paul. It is a very, and I do mean very, bad look on Tank Davis. And it's a bad look, bro. And there's no more sugarcoating that shit. It's a bad look. You cannot sit here and think that you fighting Jake Paul is a good idea. Like, especially when the last time you had a match, there's a lot of people that can sit there and say you lost that shit. It's a, and then on top of that, it's not just the fact that the last time you fought, a lot of people can sit there and say you lost it. You had the rematch. You had the rematch already scheduled, and you chose not to take the fight. Well, I won't say you chose not to take the fight, but the legal troubles happened, and we have heard nothing about you and Lamar Roach having another match since the situation, since the postponement. And the first thing we hear is that you fighting Jake Paul for a fucking money grab. Like, bro, what the fuck is this? What is this? For Jake Paul, congratulations, you're fighting an actual boxer. Finally. I mean, you're fighting a boxer that's actually in his fucking prime. Finally. What do I care about this fight? And if it happens, Tank is one of my favorite boxers, but let's be real, I do not care. I do not care. I'm gonna watch it because it's something to watch on that day. I'm pretty sure there's not gonna be too much shit going on. Probably that's gonna be probably around the end of college football season, so that'd probably be either conference championships weekend or maybe the Army Navy game. So, uh, yeah, I'm very against this. Listen, man. For anybody that's sitting out there and saying this is a great thing for boxing, it's not. It's not. Your premier fighter, like I said, eventually, whoever was the real first boxer to ever take the shot at Jake Paul, they were going to get clowned. It was just a matter of fucking time. The problem with this is that Jake Paul again goes completely out of his fucking weight class to try to fight somebody that's not of his weight class. You're a light heavyweight according to the rankings, right? Or catch weight, whatever the case may be. But you're a light heavyweight. You're fighting a fucking lightweight. That's what two. That's two divisions. That's two fucking divisions, bro. Like you're 6'2". He's 5'5". Like what the fuck are you doing? Like I've seen Tank fight Marcos Barrios. Marcos is like 6 feet, something like that. 5'10", 6 feet. This is a completely different fucking like dog. Jake Paul's walking in with at least 80 fucking pounds over Tank, bro. Like this is ridiculous. Like even in that sense, it still seems like it's still a fucked up fight for Jake Paul. Yes, Tank is one of the best to do it, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you can't even pick your right boxing opponent. The first real boxing challenge you ever get, you can't even pick that shit right. It's just a fucking knock to the boxing world. Another fucking knock to the boxing world of a lot of people that's already been saying a lot of these dudes just don't want to take the fights. They just want to make money. Tank is one of those guys that's falling into that class of now. You don't want to take the fights. You just want to make money. And that's cool. Floyd did that shit. The difference between Floyd and eventually fight the people that he was supposed to fight. He fought Miguel Cotto. He fought Ricky Hatton. He fought Manny Pacquiao. He fought Canelo. He fought the fucking people he was supposed to fucking have fight. Did he fight them right then and there? No. Okay, that's one knock on him. But he did fight them. And that's the fucking problem. He actually did fight some people. He fought people that we didn't even know until he got in the ring with this motherfucker, like Victor Ortiz. I didn't know who the fuck Victor Ortiz was until they fucking announced that fight. Nobody knew who the fuck Victor Ortiz was. Like, there are certain people that Floyd fought that nobody really knew until they got into the ring with Floyd. That's the difference. So, excuse me, as much as Tank and Jake looks great to the casuals, again, this is about casuals. This is a fucking black eye to boxing. And as much as people don't want to sit there and say that, and that's probably some real boxing purists that's like, nah, I love this idea. Great. Tell me why, outside of it's money. It's great to boost up the popularity of boxing. Again, you're going off of fucking trying to get casuals to care about the actual sport. I don't give a fuck if casuals like boxing. That's the problem nowadays. A lot of y'all care too much about the fucking casual ass viewers that don't give a single solitary fuck about the actual sport. And I don't see, and this is in all spectrums of sports right now. This is in all spectrums of sports, in music, and everything else. Wrestling, I talk about wrestling. It's in all spectrums of this world that we live in right now, where there are so many people that care about the casual viewers more than the actual real fans. Now, not always that works because the real actual fans sometimes don't also play a massive part in it. So yes, you need the casuals, but this is one of those times where the casuals, if you don't know who Tank Davis is, then you don't care about that he's fighting Jake Paul. But if you are an actual boxing fan, you are kind of a little bit disappointed in Tank and being like, damn, bro, like, yo, you had a rematch like that we were looking forward to seeing. Does this mean you can't beat Frank Roach and you know it? I mean, Lamont Roach, and you know it. You can't beat Lamont Roach. Is that the real? Is this the reason why you taking the fight with Jake Paul? Because you can't beat Lamont Roach and you know it. Because there's no reason for you to fight Jake Paul. None. There's a bunch of fucking fighters that could have took this fight for Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, even though he got his ass KO'd. Francis Ngannou, Anthony Joshua, Josh Parker. Shit. After what happened to the boys, shit, Daniel the boys, like, there's a lot of fucking people that could have took this fight instead of going two goddamn weight classes down to fight a man that's literally a lightweight. The fuck are we doing? Anyway, college football is back this weekend. College football will be back this weekend. I cannot wait. First weekend of college football. Now, last week was week 0 of college football. Like Stanford, Hawaii played, Kansas State and Iowa State, which is a Big 12 matchup. So that already plays into the Big 12 standings moving forward. Like Iowa State took the dub in that one. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week. Week 1 is here, and like always, I do my crazy 6 of college football. Ah, man, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Let's start it off, man. The first team off my crazy 6 is the defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes, led by, of course, Ryan Day as head coach. They bring back the superstar freshman last year, Jeremiah Smith, who can possibly be a Heisman finalist by the end of the year, depending on what they do with him this season. Ohio State is number 1 on mine. Now, technically in the polls, they're third, which I don't understand why. I mean, they lost a lot of shit, but they still got Caleb Downs. They still got Jeremiah Smith. Will Howard to move on to the NFL was kind of expected. You lost both of your running backs to the draft, Jenkins and Henderson. Um, so yeah, they lost some pieces on that team, but at the same time, I mean, Ohio State is still, to me, the number one team in college football. I mean, I get it. You want to make a grand gesture about why they shouldn't be, but this upcoming Saturday, I'll talk about the game when it comes because I will definitely be talking about that game this weekend. But this is the perfect week to show that. And listen, I am not a huge fan of Ohio State by no stretch of the imagination. But to act like they're the third best team in college football, that's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Excuse me. Number two. My number two is the team they beat in the national championship, and that is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Of course, led by Marcus Freeman, head coach. They are also returning back a very highly skilled, possible Heisman finalist in Jeremiah Love, running back. Um, if I had to ask the question of which team I have more faith in of going to the national championship this upcoming season, Ohio State or Notre Dame, I would say Notre Dame. The one thing about Notre Dame that has been the knock on Notre Dame is the offense. The offense of Notre Dame cannot fucking score. I don't know what it is. Like last year was just a very telltale sign. You had Riley Leonard, who was, excuse me, at one point considered probably one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He goes from Duke to Notre Dame and does nothing. Nothing. It's just like, what the hell is this? So the offense of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish has always been their weakness under Marcus Freeman. But that defense is stout. That damn defense is one of the best defenses in college football. Um, again, they play Miami this upcoming week. We shall see how that looks. But and I'll talk about that game later too. Number three, the Texas Longhorns. Sorry. Um, the Texas Longhorns. They are the preseason college football number one. Uh, I'll talk about like I said, Texas and Ohio State in a couple of minutes. That game particularly. Listen, Texas. We shall see how Texas looks. I'm not a huge jump on the bandwagon Texas guy at all. We should see how this shit looks. But them being ranked one with no proof of why they should be one, it's kind of crazy. Number four for my crazy six, it is the Miami Hurricanes. They're ranked 10th in the actual college football polls. Um, let's see how Miami looks with Carson Beck as the new quarterback. Like I said, I'll talk about Miami Notre Dame in a couple minutes, but I got Miami as fourth on my list. Number five, I got the Clemson Tigers. Um, did Dabo Sweeney actually figure out something? Last couple of years, he's been struggling. He's been trying to get himself together. He's been trying to get himself right. He's been trying to do the right thing. Not going to the transfer portal and all this other shit, which has allowed Clemson to kind of bring in these guys. They're not particularly, allow Clemson to bring in these guys, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and actually help them, make them into a good team. Uh, is this the season where it's going to finally pay off for Clemson? And that's really where the question kind of lies for Clemson Tigers moving forward. Is this going to be the season that pays off? Now, Clemson, of course, plays my LSU Tigers uh, this upcoming weekend. Again, I'll talk about that game in a couple minutes. So, yeah. And closing out the number, my crazy six for this start of this year, it is the Oregon Ducks. They are the seventh best team in the college football. Now, Clemson is also, I think, the fourth ranked team in college football. Oregon is the seventh best team in college football. This is the first year where Oregon is kind of walking in, and you really don't know what Oregon is going to look like. You had Justin Herbert for a couple of years, and then you had Bo Nix, and then you had now Dylan Gabriel, and now there's another quarterback. And you're like, okay, well, let's see how Oregon is actually going to look this upcoming week, this upcoming season particularly. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Oregon is actually going to look this upcoming season because I don't know what Oregon's going to look like. But yeah. But that's my crazy six to start off. Ohio State 1, Notre Dame 2, Texas 3, Miami 4, Clemson 5, and Oregon is 6. My eyes on football week 1. My skeptical game of the week, most interesting game of the week, my upset game of the week, and of course my game of the week. Started off. Skeptical game of the week starts off, and that is Syracuse versus Tennessee. Tennessee comes in the 20th, 24th ranked team in the nation. Um, the reason why this is a skeptical game for me is because you can't sleep on Syracuse, dude. Like Syracuse is one of those teams for the last couple of years, excuse me, the last couple of years have actually built a program. Like especially in the ACC where there's not too many teams that you can physically. It's very top heavy. Clemson, Miami, and then you have Florida State that's been having a kind of like a decline the last couple of years. But Pittsburgh is always kind of decent. Duke has kind of always kind of been right there. Where of course looking at Bill Belichick this upcoming season with North Carolina to see what they're gonna look like. Stanford's in the ACC now. California, their first years was last year in the ACC. But Syracuse is one of those teams that's sneaky. The motherfuckers are sneaky. They get at least 8 to 10 wins every year. And Tennessee is one of those teams where they're great at the beginning. They always fall off at the end. And I don't know what Tennessee we're going to get in this game. They should dominate Syracuse. They should. Will they is kind of where the problem kicks in. And I don't think they will. I think this is going to be very close. I can actually see Syracuse actually win this game. I'm gonna be honest. I know that's going against my SEC in me, but I can actually see Syracuse actually execute and win this game. Because the one knock on Tennessee has always been their defense. It's not the offense, the defense. So yeah. And this is a shootout. I got Syracuse. Most interesting game of the week. LSU versus Clemson. Um, why is it interesting? Right? Why is it interesting? Well, Brian Kelly has not won a week 1 matchup since he's been a head coach of the LSU Tigers. He has been the head coach of the LSU Tigers. This will make his 4th year as the LSU Tigers head coach and taking the job from Ed Orgeron in 2021. This is his 4th season as the LSU Tigers head coach. This is the most interesting week of Brian Kelly's coaching career as the LSU Tigers head coach. The first 3 times you've been in these big game situations, you had 2 opponents that the first week was his first year as an LSU head coach was Florida State, New Orleans, and you lost. The second time was Florida State and Orlando, and you lost. The third time was last year in Vegas. with the USC Trojans and you lost, you can't lose 4 consecutive week 1 games as the LSU Tigers head coach. That shit just doesn't look right. And then on top of that, going into the SEC, and I don't think the SEC is, I just said Tennessee could lose to Syracuse. I don't think the SEC is this crazy ass conference like it used to be, which means there's new people at the top that can definitely take precedent this upcoming season. Teams like South Carolina, teams like Kentucky, teams that's been building shit. You can't lose week fucking 1. You can't. And the fact that we're also in Clemson to start this fucking season makes it even worse. You can't lose week fucking 1, bro. You can't do it. You lose week 1, you might as well just go ahead and forfeit the fucking season. Because you're showing us you can't win in big games. You're showing us you can't win in big fucking games. I've already lost faith in you in big games because that's just who you are. You don't show up in big fucking games as a head coach. I've already lost faith in you. But this is the one game where you cannot fucking lose. Especially with all the expectations on Clemson. And if you go out there and shit the bed week fucking 1 like you did the last 3 years, and you shit the bed in week 1, I don't give a shit what experts say. You're pretty much out as the head coach of LSU. I don't give a shit. Our schedule doesn't give you enough leeway to just turn it on later. We don't have the Texas. We don't have the Georgias. We don't have that on our schedule. You got to win these types of games because once you get to the end of the season, let's say Alabama's good this year. Let's say Georgia's good this year. Let's say Ole Miss is good this year. Let's say South Carolina is one of those sleepers. They come out of nowhere. Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma. You can't lose the first fucking game. Because like I said, it's one thing to lose a game week 5 or 6. You didn't play it a couple weeks. Your team a little tired. Okay, that's okay. You're on the road. Okay. The first fucking week you lose. The first game you lose every season. You know this is the game out of before any schedule that is put out there. This is the game you know that has to start out the gate. And you lose this game, there's nothing else I feel like you can do for me personally as an LSU head coach. I'm not saying LSU is going to go fucking undefeated, but losing a game like this to start the season, you might as well not even fucking play the rest of the season. The fuck are you doing? Because you get in the college playoffs, I know you're not better than Clemson. I know you're not better than USC. I know you're not better than Penn State. I know you're not better than Oregon. I know you're not better than Miami. I know you're not better than Notre Dame. This is the problem with losing the first game because as much as you don't want to hear this, losing a game like this is definitely a stain on Ryan Kelly. And it doesn't matter what the fuck he does the rest of the year. Because we know he's going to fuck up in the SEC play at some point. Upset game of the week. Notre Dame versus Miami. Yeah. Now, to some people, a 6-10 matchup. How the fuck is this upset? Well, I explain. Like I said, Notre Dame's defense isn't the problem with Notre Dame. It's their offense. The problem is Miami's defense has sucked the last couple of years. Last year, Miami's defense sucked last year. And I have no faith in Carson Beck. That is the quarterback that is the quarterback that is replacing the number 1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft, Cam Ward. That is the quarterback they went out and go get. Carson Beck. A guy that last year, if you listen to every fucking body on fucking TV, was supposed to be the first quarterback taken in this previous year's draft. and he's still in college. This is why this is an upset. Miami's defense, Miami's defense is very, but their offense now under Carson Beck of all people, I don't trust. I don't trust. I don't trust Carson Beck. I don't trust him. I don't trust him in these types of games. You're giving him now more offense to work with. The one knock on him in Georgia could be that they didn't really have receivers, and he always had to, predicate his offense on tight ends. So let's see how he looks. And as a guy that has a couple of, my brother Juan, shout out to Juan, shout out to, Warren. I know they're Miami Hurricane fans to the death. This is one of those games that if Miami comes out, it can actually defensively give a game to Notre Dame. I think Miami can at least score enough points to win the game. That is why I feel like this is an upset. Because no matter how much I do not trust Notre Dame's offense, the defense of Notre Dame is fucking solid. And that damn defense is scary. Fucking scary. So we shall see. This is why I said it's an upset. Because if Miami wins, this now now you're looking at Notre Dame like this ain't like North Illinois, bro. You lost to Miami. Like this ain't a North Illinois loss where you're just like shit just went left one game. Like, nah, your offense still can't do shit, and your defense is all that you have. And of course, game of the week is Texas versus Ohio State. This is 1 versus 3. Texas goes to the Buckeye State. They would play Ohio State. Listen, man. Shout out to Bomani Jones. He said what I wish a lot more people would say on fucking TV, but they won't because they can't say it because they will fuck up their donors or whatever the fuck they got that's pumping their money in. We have no idea what Arch Manning is. We don't have a clue. We are going off of the family name and what we kind of saw a little bit in 2 games. We have no motherfucking clue if this kid is actually good. Not a drop. We have not a sense that this kid can actually go out there and do any of the shit that y'all are hyping him to do. None of us know. And the fact that none of us know if Arch Manning can actually be the guy is why I feel like Texas is in a very fucked up position. This is why I kept saying, as much as I don't trust Ohio State, I don't know what the fuck Texas is. I have no clue. Arch Manning can look amazing in practice. And then the game start, and he looks like utter dog shit. It could happen. It could happen. Like, we keep sitting up here going off of hype. I don't give a fuck about hype. Reality is, you got to play. And at some point, if you shit the bed, do you just shit the bed, my brother? I don't know what the fuck you want me to tell you. We're going off of hype. Yeah, he was the #1 recruit. Great. So was fucking Justin Fields. Who gives a fuck? So was Caleb fucking Williams. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like, y'all keep sitting up here telling me about some shit he did back then. Bro, he's been in college for 2 years. He could barely beat our Quentin Ayers, who sucked last year for Texas. He could barely beat him out. The fuck are we talking about? Like, you barely played top competition. You never played top competition. This is why I keep saying, like, I don't know what the fuck. Excuse me. Arch Manning is. Like I keep saying, I said this a couple of weeks ago when I brought him up. I said, is Arch Manning actually good? Is Arch Manning going to actually be good? And I said, to be honest, I don't think he will be. I think we have hyped this kid so much that he damn near got to be Peyton. Eli wasn't bad in college. Eli was actually a beast in college. I remember watching Ole Miss and LSU, and not liking Eli Manning because he could just torch my fucking defense. He's gotta be Peyton and Eli, bro. Like it's you can't sugarcoat this shit. Like they're putting a lot of hype on you, bro. So and then the first game you got, it's against the defending national champions in Ohio State. Good fucking luck. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like good fucking luck, kid. Like good. This is the worst time for a kid like Arch Manning to get a job and immediately have to prove himself. You're playing against the defending national champions in the Ohio State Buckeyes, who probably feels like they should be the number one team in the nation, and not you. Because we actually won last year. The fuck? Yeah. Yeah, this is wild. This is wild. But that is my game of the week. Skeptical game of the week is Syracuse versus Tennessee. Most interesting game of the week is LSU versus Clemson. My upset game of the week is Miami versus Notre Dame, and of course, or Notre Dame versus Miami, and of course, Texas versus Ohio State is the game of the week. College football. Oh man, we are so back. Next week, you already know, football will be fully in swing for me. Week 2 of college football, week 1 of the NFL. I'll be doing my big 4 of the NFL, my levels of warning in the NFL coming into the season. And yes, woo, shit, it's gonna be crazy next week for NFL. So if you a fan of the 3 teams I already have mentally in my mind that I'm about to go crazy on, you might either want to stay tuned or turn the fucking channel. Whichever one you want to do, I'm all for. Anyway, that's next week. That's next week. Let's start it off, man. So preseason is officially over. Of course, everybody really wants to talk about is quarterbacks. Obviously, shout out to Scary Terry for getting his money today. So did Trey Henderson. All those guys got their money today. They gave Trey Henderson just a $14 million raise, which you could have just did that shit from the fucking beginning and then worked on his contract next year. But do you think? Scary Terry is officially a Washington Commander. About goddamn time. Gave him a 3-year extension. About fucking time. I mean, if you really went out there with Jaden Daniels and that man was not on the motherfucking football field with Jaden Daniels, that's damn near malpractice. I'm like, that's damn near malpractice. I am damn sure that like Jaden Daniels can sue the shit out the Commanders for that bullshit. Like you just send me out there for nothing, nothing. No targets, no nothing. With bad knees Debo. You want me to go out there with bad knees Debo? Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? All right. Anyway. Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, and of course, media's favorite darling, Shedeur Sanders. Let's start it off with Cam Ward. Cam Ward, final preseason game was against the Vikings, and he looked like Cam Ward. I don't know the fuck you want me to tell you. Now, last week, he played against the Falcons. He went 2 for 7. I know everybody was ready to just say, see, this is why he should have never been the best quarterback. He's not the best quarterback yet. Shut up. If you watch the highlights of that man game, even if you watch the game itself, you can tell he was putting the fucking ball literally, boom, in front of his receivers. It is not his damn fault that they cannot catch. It is not his fault that they cannot catch the goddamn ball. This past week, completely different fucking story. Tennessee, you got your franchise quarterback, man. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to, Tennessee has their guy. Cam Ward is their guy. And as much as people don't want to admit this shit, Cam was always the better quarterback. And I mean always the better quarterback. Cam was the better quarterback. I am not surprised that Tennessee's in the position that they're in. I have said on my podcast, I've said this on me and my brother Wine's podcast when we did our NFL divisions, all of it. I literally said that I think Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans could win the AFC South, or at least make the playoffs. I do believe Tennessee is going to the playoffs this year. I know people don't want to say that, but I'm one of those people that sees beyond the goddamn situations. I'm not a I'm like Cam Ward is already that guy. You didn't need to do extra shit with Cam Ward. He's already that fucking guy. Jackson Dart got concussed, I think, in a game. His last preseason game against the Patriots. But listen, what I've said about Jackson Dart, I'm gonna continue to say about Jackson Dart. You're kind of giving this kid preseason defenses, vanilla fucking coverages, and y'all are now sitting there telling me that he should be the starter against preseason defenses in vanilla fucking coverages. You have Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson should be the starter. That's really not too much I should say about that. As simple as that. Tyler Shuck. I think Tyler should be the starter in New Orleans. I'll go ahead and get this out the way. Next week, I'll be back doing my New Orleans Saints podcast. Bleed Black and Gold for the first game against the Saints and the Cardinals. They'll be back. Of course, like I said, Saturday, I'll be back doing Bleed Purple and Gold, my LSU podcast, for the first game for LSU and Clemson. Tyler Shuck should be the starter. Like I said, practice is one thing. In gameplay is a whole nother. Spencer Rattler, with a year under his belt, has not progressed or evolved or became this game-changing quarterback like everybody swears he is. What the fuck are you watching? Spencer Rattler should not. This shouldn't even be a goddamn conversation right now. Spencer Rattler should be the number one guy with a bullet. But the fact that this even became anywhere near a situation of we don't know if you're the starter. Tyler Shuck, every game I've seen him play, has gotten better and progressed. And yes, even though it is vanilla defenses against third and fourth string defenses, that's how you know somebody is progressing because he's taking advantage of the things he's seeing. There's a difference between what the fuck a lot of these quarterbacks have truly messed up on. Jackson Dart has been consistently killing defenses that he's seen. That's great. But when you sit there and tell me, can he do that against actual starting defense? I do not think he can. Tyler Shuck, do I think he can go out there and have a great rookie season? I don't know. But if you ask me right here, right now, Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler, I'm going to go with Tyler Shuck. And I know some Saints fans don't want to hear that because you just have this he can't be the guy shit. But let me give you what the truth is. Tyler Shuck is more pro ready than the other quarterback I'm about to talk about. He's more pro ready. I'm not saying he's the better of the two. Well, yes, I am. I'm lying. He is the better of the two. He's more progressively there. He can decipher what's going on faster than than Spencer Rattler right now. He can handle himself better than other quarterbacks right now. And to me, if I was Kellen Moore, the only reason why you're going to give this job to Spencer Rattler is because you feel like you own one. He got a shady deal last year. It was fucked up. It was bad. His offensive line got hurt. Receivers wasn't there. Elvin was, in and out. Like, the only reason why you're giving it to Spencer Rattler, it's a lot of shit that goes into why you're giving it to Spencer Rattler. Let's see if Tyler Shuck is the guy. If not, we lose a bunch of fucking games. We draft a quarterback next year. And if he is kind of the guy, you still lose a bunch of fucking games. You drive a quarterback next year, and now Tyler Shuck can get you something that you don't have, like a fucking receiver or an offensive lineman. Why do all this work? Just do what you can. Tyler Shuck is the more pro-ready quarterback right now. And like I said, I like Spencer Rattler. But Spencer Rattler still has this And Tyler Shuck still do too. Tyler Shuck has this I don't want to take the sack shit. Sometimes you just gotta take the sack, bro. You can't throw the ball out, get your ball out your hands every damn time. Like, go ahead and take the sack. But if you ask me right now, Tyler Shuck is better than Spencer Rattler for the offense of the Saints. And that's just facts. You don't want to say it, but I'm one of those guys that I don't give a fuck. I say it for you. And last but not least is Shedeur Sanders. Listen, man. Anybody that's in there, listen. Listen. I've heard chatter from all sides today. You got, of course, the Shedeur fans that just love him so dearly and they want to hug him and give him a kiss on the forehead and tell him they love him to death. And, it's going to be all right, bro. They don't know what the fuck they looking at, bro. You the guy. You the guy. And then you got, the other side of that, which is not really fans, just really just do not like Shedeur Sanders for some apparent fucking reason. I don't know why. You just don't like Shedeur Sanders, and that's cool. Now, is it a racial thing? Probably. Do you think he's too arrogant? Probably. Do you think he's too cocky? Possibly. My thing with Shedeur has always been this, bro. And this is me. I'm not in any situation. I'm just speaking on what the fuck I've always seen from this kid. Shedeur is okay. He's all right. He's decent enough where he can play. He is not great enough where he can overcome his deficiencies. And that's where the fuck the problems lie. Shedeur cannot overcome deficiencies. He cannot overcome a bad offensive line. He can't. He needs a lot of shit to go right for him. And this is why I kept hearing people that has this dumbass thing. And I'm so happy Ryan Clark got on TV today and said what he said, because he said, you know what? And this is what I've been saying for like the last couple months. People are fucking blind. And you are attached to this kid. For some apparent reason, you feel like he got fucked over. Perfectly understandable. I get it. You feel like he got fucked over. I totally understand it. Here's where the fucking problem lies. They gave him the opportunities. Now, the first, second week of the preseason, he couldn't play because of an oblique injury. Okay. What's the excuse for the third week? I said this last week, and I saw it immediately when this shit happened. The offensive line. They sabotaged him. I'm sorry, they sabotaged him? Bro, he played literally the third quarter up until all the way to the fourth quarter, to the 2-minute warning. What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? He should have got more opportunities. Bro, he played from the third quarter to the fucking 2-minute warning of the game. What the fuck are you talking about? He got all the opportunities. What the fuck are you talking about? You played against a worse defense. Then you played against Carolina. Y'all do realize that, right? He played against a worse defense. Then he played against Carolina his first week in preseason. Them dudes are barely making the fucking team in Los Angeles. And you got sacked 5 times by those fucking dudes? Are you crazy? This is what I kept saying. Like, y'all can sit here and give me all of the bullshit under the sun. Being emotionally attached to a person does not mean that person is the best fucking option. Shedeur is okay. He can play. But like I've been saying, and I saw this shit coming a mile away, and it happened immediately after that game happened. You blame the offensive line. The team is sabotaging them. It's the head coach. It's this. I literally said this shit last fucking week on my podcast. You can go pull. I got the clip up on TikTok. I literally said this shit. I said, watch how fast, when he has a bad game, watch how fast all y'all gonna sit there and say they're trying to sabotage him. It's the offensive line fault. It's the offensive coordinator. It's the head coach. It's the GM. It's all this shit. That's why I kept saying, what's a good situation for Shedeur? Because he doesn't have one. At the end of the day, what you saw is exactly why teams probably was very iffy on him. Also dealt with the actual shit he was doing. The legacy shit and all this other shit and his father and all this. Yeah, that compounded the situation. But I'm pretty sure these scouts have been watching Shedeur since he was in high school. Thinking, man, that's going to be Deion Sanders' son. I'm pretty sure if he comes to the league, he'll be that guy. The fact of the matter is, Shador did not play up to his standards in the last preseason game. It happens. Shit happens. Like I kept saying, he's a fucking rookie. He is not this game changer, life altering savior of a fucking franchise. He's a fucking rookie. He needs to learn how to be a quarterback first. And the fact of the matter is, he lost the opportunity to be the second quarterback off the board, to be the second quarterback in Cleveland. He lost the opportunity to be the third quarterback in Cleveland. Right now, for Shador Sanders, what he needs to do more than anything on the planet is don't listen to the media. Shut the fuck up, media. Because I kept saying this. The media screwed this kid. They kept telling him he was okay and it'll be okay. And y'all did not want to admit what you were seeing. You wanted to give out all of the good compliments, but not talk about the actual player himself. And now you are sitting here, like everybody, with the, what the fuck? I thought he would be. This is exactly what the fuck you saw in college, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Anyway, am I surprised? No. Am I surprised? Fuck no. Fuck no. I didn't think he would fucking finish starter at all. I never thought that. Never thought he'd finish second or third. I thought he'd be fourth. You don't draft a person in front of someone just to then turn around and say, oh, he's better than you now. The fuck? You drafted me because you knew I was better than I fit your team better. Anyway. My top 10 defenses coming into the 2025 season compared to the NFL's top 10. I forgot where I got this list from. I think I want to say NFL.com. Probably was NFL.com, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks. So let's start off like this. So I took the NFL top 10 defenses coming into the 2025 season. And I got my top 10 defenses coming into the 2025 season. So for the NFL, .com, they have the Denver Broncos at number 1. Okay. My number 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Zach Browning, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Cooper DeJean, Quayon Mitchell. The list goes on and fucking on. Like, Philly is just different, bro. What do you want us to say? You Philly is fucking different, bro. So yeah, I got the Philadelphia Eagles at number 1. I'm not mad at Denver being at 1 on their list. I just gotta see it. I just gotta see it. Number 2, they have the Eagles. So we're all by a fucking pick. My number 2 is the Texans. I have a lot of hope, a lot of high hope for the Houston Texans this upcoming year. Yeah, I got a lot of high hope for the Houston Texans defense this upcoming year. Derek Stingley. I know Gardner Johnson got hurt, but Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Danico Archery. Excuse me. Yeah, this Houston defense is gonna be. Whoo shit! Good luck. This Houston defense is gonna be. Whoo shit! Good luck. Number 3, they have the Baltimore Ravens. I guess me and them think alike for the first time because I got the Baltimore Ravens third too. I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens defense and I'm saying to myself, you drafted Mike Green, who was the leading sack guy in NCAA last year from Marshall. You draft him. You got Kyle Hamilton, and you drafted Malik Starks from Georgia. Not to mention, you signed Jair Alexander from the Packers. You still got Marlon Humphrey, and you drafted who you drafted last year? Fuck, cornerback. Fuck, I forgot the cornerback name. Fuck, damn it. Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins last year. But and that's just the secondary. That's the fucking secondary. Like, bro, if Baltimore defense starts the season like they ended the season last year, man, Baltimore might have the number one seed at the AFC. Everything might have to go through Baltimore, man, and that's me being 100% honest. I don't know what's up with the Lamar Jackson foot situation. Got to keep my eye on that for a little bit. I know nothing's gonna keep him probably out that first game. That somebody stepped on his foot, which, hey, bro, don't you can't. There should be nobody around Lamar Jackson. You should wrap this nigga up in bubble wrap by this time in his career. Wrap that nigga up in bubble wrap and sit that nigga on the bench. That nigga only you could throw with a Nerf football, nigga. Nigga, we are keeping you in bubble wrap and saran tape. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? But yeah, NFL.com, they have the Texans fourth. I got the Texans second, like I said. My number 4 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie. Who else? Kansas City's always had a really good defense, a really good structure, a really good situation. The thing about Kansas City, though, is I've always said this about Kansas City, particularly Steve Spagnuolo. They are a bend but don't break defense. And in the playoffs, particularly the Super Bowl last year, you saw what happened when they finally broke. Chris Jones wasn't in the field for a couple of plays, for a half or two, and it was over. They relied very heavily on Chris Jones being the guy. Very heavily on Chris Jones. Like I said, I like Trent McDuffie, but you're asking this kid to do a little bit too much now to now be the number one guy when you traded Jarvis Shaheed Jarvis Sneed to the Titans this past offseason. Like, it's a lot of things you're asking Trent McDuffie to now become. I don't know if he can. We shall see when the season starts. Number 5, they have the Kansas City Chiefs. For my number 5, I have their number 1, which is the Denver Broncos. Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback in the NFL. I will not be elaborating on that further. I will not be elaborating on that any further. Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback in the NFL. I would not be elaborating on that any further. Then you add Jahan Barron from Alabama. You got Zach Allen. Denver's defense, despite what their offense might look like this year, that defense is gonna be solid. I'm not gonna question the offense. I'm not gonna question the defense. The offense, still some questions. But defense, no. Like I said, I can see why you got Denver number 1. I can easily see why you have Denver defense number 1. I've also been one of those guys that grew up and watched Sean Payton all my childhood when he was the Saints head coach. What was his worst part of his teams for most years? It was the defense. As long as he stays out the kitchen, the defense should be all right. Number 6, they have the Detroit Lions. Detroit is not on my list. That is the first team that they have that I do not have on my list. Listen, I love Aiden Hutchinson. I love, what the defensive structure of the Detroit Lions look like. Brian Branch, Jack Campbell. I fuck with Detroit's defense. My problem with Detroit is similar to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're very bend but don't break. And last year when Aiden Hutchinson went down, you saw the defense. That defense got fucking man. If they were healthy, what the fuck would that defense have looked like in the playoffs? I think the Lions go to the Super Bowl. And I think they win if they were healthy. If they can stay healthy, we should see a different Detroit Lions defense. But since they weren't, I can't. I gotta see Detroit's defense. That's just me personally. But for me, my number 6 is the Minnesota Vikings, a division rival. Brian Flores. Somebody said this maybe yesterday or the day before that Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators left standing in the NFL, and I totally agree. Brian Flores. Now, I've always said Brian Flores' defenses, they take a little time to kind of work themselves into the season. It takes a little time. By like week 11 to like 18, that's when the defense is just like hitting on all levels, hitting all calibers. But like from like week 1 to 2 to 10, it's like, oh shit, it's a little sluggish. Like the first game, like I expect Caleb Williams to have a somewhat okay game. I expect Caleb Williams to have a somewhat okay game. When they play them later on in the season, I expect Caleb Williams to get sacked like 7 times. I expect Caleb Williams to get sacked like 7 fucking times. Like the first game, he gonna be all right. The second game, oh my god, get that boy a stretcher. He gonna need it. Minnesota's defense, I expect them to be okay this year. I like their defense a lot. Let's see how they look. Number 7, they have the Seattle Seahawks. Again, I do not have Seattle on my list. Yeah, I don't have Seattle on my list. Again, yeah, in hindsight, it looks like a really good fucking team. In hindsight, it looks like a really good team. A really good defense on paper. The former Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. But Seattle's defense is going to have a problem because that offense is very fucking questionable. That is why I can't put them on my list because I do not trust that offense for shit, which means that defense is only going to have a good 4 or 5 weeks under their belt, and then that defense is just going to disintegrate because the offense is just going to fucking fall off a cliff. It's going to fall off a cliff. My number 7 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It sucks that you just lost the rookie, Derek Harmon, to an injury. I think he's out for the year. But you do still have TJ Watt. You got Joey Porter Jr., who, this is his 3rd year now in the NFL. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to look under this Pittsburgh team. Yeah, man. Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, I expect Pittsburgh's defense to still be good. I don't think Pittsburgh takes a step back. Patrick Queen, bro, that defense is still gonna be good. Even if the offense sucks, that defense is gonna be solid. Number 8, they have the Minnesota Vikings. I told you, Minnesota is my 6. For me, my number 8 is the New England Patriots. I think the Patriots defense under Mike Vrabel, it's gonna be very fucking interesting. I will say this. I'll go on a limb and say this. I think Christian Gonzalez, cornerback Christian Gonzalez. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to lead the NFL in interceptions this year. I think cornerback Christian Gonzalez is going to lead the NFL in interceptions this year. I don't have a total, but I do believe he's going to lead the NFL in interceptions this year. That's how much I believe in the Patriots defense. Number 9, they have the Patriots. My number 9 is the Cleveland Browns. Despite how I feel about their offense, because I think it sucks, I ain't never got to question that defense. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, you still have Denzel Ward, you still got Greg Newsome. And then you just added Mason Graham to that defense too. Oh my God. Yeah, Detroit, the Cleveland Browns defense is always the one thing that I can easily say they will easily figure the fuck out. If nothing goes right offensively for the Cleveland Browns this year, at least you know you're going to have a defense. At number 10, they have the Pittsburgh Steelers. My number 10 is the New York Giants. I know people think I'm crazy, but I got the New York Giants. I think the Giants defense with a dual Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, that front four by itself is a fucking nightmare. Like that front four, like Houston was last year, that front four by itself is a fucking nightmare. I am terrified for teams that gotta play the Giants. We play the Giants this year. I am not looking forward to this fucking game. I'm telling y'all this shit now. That Giants defense is gonna be something. You're gonna be sitting there some weeks being like, bro, these motherfuckers had like 7-8 sacks. These motherfuckers had like 7-8 sacks by themselves, bro. Like, oh my god, yeah, man, yeah, man. The Giants defense is gonna be whew, shit. I'm scared. That's why I think the Giants are gonna have a better season than the Dallas Cowboys. People don't want to admit that, but I said that is it. That is all. Like I said, next week I am in full fucking gear. Hopefully my sinus and all this will clear up. I'll be on here with sniffling and coughing and shit. Hopefully I'll be better next week. Hopefully by Saturday for LSU Clemson when I gotta do that podcast episode. Then Sunday I gotta do Wrestling Life. But yeah. But until then, I am Brandon Janeau. This is I Bleed Sports. Peace.